This video is all about the important things you need to talk about when you're preparing for your wedding, whether you are engaged or you are actually looking forward to getting married to this person but not at the point of engagement yet. This video is just for you. I'll be telling you, I'll be describing to you just the important things to focus on before you actually talk about your big day. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lola, and in this video I'll be describing to you the important things you need to focus on when you're getting married, or whether you are actually looking forward to getting married to this person or not at that point yet. The important discussions you need to have. Okay, so sit back, relax and enjoy, and tell a friend to tell a friend, share this video, and let's get right into it. All right, the very first thing I want to talk about is money, right? Yes, it could be that probably you think this is not an important thing for you to focus on, but I tell you what, it is one of the very first thing, or one of the very important things that you need to talk about. You need to talk about, the mindset about money. What do they think about money? You need to talk about your earnings. If at this point that you're looking forward to getting married, or you're thinking of getting married to this person, you have not discussed how much your earnings are on both sides, this is the right time for you to talk about it. All right, talk about the extra income that could come from probably the extra things you do for a living. Talk about what they do for a living. Are you ready to settle down in that city, or are you planning to probably move to where he's working or where she's working? Talk about these things that could cause, because definitely you have to work, or both of you have to, or one of you have to work, all right, and you are staying somewhere. So how do you want to cope? Are you working in different cities? What is the compromise going to be like? Is somebody moving for somebody? Are you going to be like, are you going to be moving from one city to another, or are you going to be working in different cities and then finding a particular time to stay together as a family? These are the important things you need to talk about. Talk about investment. What are your investments? What are the savings? Even before we talk about investment, let's talk about savings. How are you going to save? How are you going to plan for future expenses? What percentage are you saving? What percentage goes to what? And also investment. Okay, like what investment are you looking forward to? Are you a real estate person? Is he into auto trading? Just to talk about different things that could bring extra income and how you can make that achievable. So giving, how many percentage are you going to be giving? Who are you going to be giving money? What are the responsibilities regarding money? Probably you're marrying a first child that probably maybe the parents are late, or the parents are not really up there, and that a lot of especially in an African home, in an African setting, where that this person carries a lot of financial responsibilities. What are their financial responsibilities towards their siblings, towards their parents, towards whatever it is? Find a way of bringing a compromise and discuss how you are going to work together to ensure that one person is not feeling hurt by you sending money to this particular set of people. How do you want to cut? How do you want to adjust to this new family life, especially now that you are getting married? There is going to definitely be an adjustment to the way you spend. Okay, so these are the important things you need to sit down and have that hard discussion. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is roles, responsibilities, and expectation. What are their roles? What are their responsibilities? What are the expectations you have of this person? Okay, so for this, under this is like the house chores. Okay, do you believe that the man should have a particular thing they have in the house, or the woman should have a particular thing they do in the house? These are part of the things that will make probably you should have had this conversation, or you should have had a glimpse into this thing. We have some homes where it is the woman that probably does the running around to get grocery shopping, while the man cooks. We have some homes where it is the man that does the laundry, that does the even as little as taking out the trash. These are the important things you need to talk about. Your expectations as a woman. What do you expect this man to do in the family? Probably because of your upbringing, you thought that your man should be able to do these kind of things in the family. Or as a man, because of your upbringing, you think your woman should be able to do this, so and so things. These are the things like you talk about. And I would plead with you to have to be as flexible as possible. Make your mind open and be ready to reach a compromise, because obviously you were raised in different homes, in different backgrounds, in different, with different mindsets, and definitely there will be some clashes. All right, just listen to understand this person and be able to communicate, your own expectations as well, in a way that you'll be able to reach a compromise. Part of the responsibilities is what I've talked about in the money section. Like, what are their responsibilities towards their family? Is it that they have to go home at certain times in the year? Is it that they have to celebrate something together? Is there a family tradition that they have to fulfill? The next thing I want to talk about are the rules and the limits. Okay, like, what are the rules in the home? What are the limits that your spouse cannot exceed? For instance, this is the time that you have to come back into the house, except there is an emergency, or except probably it's related to work, which is an emergency anyway. So these are the times that you need to come back into the house. These are the times that we wake up to do the devotion. These are the times that we, just limit and the rules in the house. For another example of rules and limits is whatever it is that we are arguing about, we don't exchange, you don't call each other names, we don't exchange blows, we don't throw things. Those are the things that you communicate, you expect, or you discuss, so that the expectation is not different from what you experience in the marriage, in the real world. What I want to talk about is authorities. Definitely, like, it is only a myth when they would say that you don't allow third parties. There will be third party in your marriage. The only thing is now deciding who this third party is, or who are these third parties. Who are these people that you're allowing into your vulnerable state, into some important information in your home? Because you cannot run it by yourself. You cannot decide to do everything just by two of you alone. Okay, your children will come in. You get to a point where some things are not really you're not really clear about some things. You want to reach out to probably a more mature person, which I would definitely advise, probably your pastor, your mentor, people that they have a say in your family, or they will have a say in your future family. And if your husband or if your spouse, even the wife, does not have anybody that they respect, they regard as an authority, this is the time you need to establish one, because there will definitely be, or there might be, that time where you have to seek a higher knowledge, somebody else to talk to your spouse. Probably you've been saying it, they don't really get it, or you've been saying it and it looks like you are always arguing about this particular discussion. You need to get this person involved to talk to your spouse, or probably even to seek higher knowledge. Not even probably there's a problem. Maybe you just want to, learn about something. Maybe you want somebody to talk to you about, for instance, setting boundaries, which we will get to anyways, and you don't want to offend your spouse. Probably somebody in your spouse's family is overstepping their boundaries. You don't want to offend your spouse by saying these things. You want to get somebody else involved. This is one of the ways. This is one of the things you need to talk about. Who is that person that I can reach out to, that can talk to you without offenses? The next point is about boundaries. Boundaries. What do you let in? Who do you let in? Who do you, what do you say to people? What do you say to this? Who are the people you talk to? There are different boundaries in different families. Okay, there are some things you don't say to. There are some things you don't say to your in-laws. There are some things you don't say to your family, but you can say to this sort of person. These are the times that you set the boundaries. Okay, for instance, another set of boundary is probably we can't allow somebody to live with us for now, because we are still growing. And another set of boundary is probably I can't allow maybe the opposite gender to, from your own end, to come into the house and sleep over, just for different reasons, depending on your journey, depending on your history, depending on what you believe. And please listen to your spouse when they discuss these things. What are the things that your spouse that you expect, or that you will not be comfortable with from your spouse, or from this other significant person? So yes, whatever it is, please don't report me to your mom. Whatever it is, please don't report me to your siblings. Whatever it is, please don't put it on social media. All right, let us settle it and let it be like that. So these are the boundaries that you need to set. All right, and even when it comes to having children, we don't argue in front of the children. They don't know what's going on. We don't argue about money in front of children. We don't argue about, even when I correct the children and I'm wrong, you don't correct me in front of the children. You just, find a better place, a better space, a better time for me to be corrected. Okay, these are like some of the ways by these are some of the things you need to talk about when talking about setting boundaries. And the next thing I want to talk about is definitely children. Children, by all means, are gifts from God. They are blessings. But if you don't manage it, if you don't manage having them, there might be a lot of like rift and conflict around it, because having a child is not something that just comes and goes. It takes responsibility. It takes toll on you. You need to plan for the children that you're having. You need to ask this other person, which gender are you open to have, or do you want to have? Are you one of the people that if you don't have a certain gender, you have not stopped? How many children do we want to have? And what is the spacing we want to put with our children? And also, how do we go around childcare? For instance, you live in a country where, like in the UK, you need to plan around childcare. Okay, like that's one of the decisions you need to make before you even have a child in the first place. How do we go around childcare? Are we going to like adjust our jobs, our schedules to ensure that we can plan around who is going to stay with our children? How are we going to ensure their security and all of that? And another thing about children is talking about contraception. Okay, so that it's not when you get there and you're like, okay, I want to go for this contraception, and your spouse is doing, no, you're not going for that contraception, or I can't go for that because of this. These are some of the decisions you need to talk about. These are some of the information you need to know. And by all means, if you think you need more information before making a decision, both of you should go for it. It's not just one person that should be exposed to an information. For instance, the woman should not be the only one that knows about contraception. The man also. I've had families where it was the man that actually had the contraception because it's easier that way for them for certain reasons, and the man went for contraception instead of the woman. So that's another way to go about it. Both of you should be exposed to the same kind of knowledge, so that you can arrive at the best decision for you, depending on the peculiarity of your home. Yeah, so that's it about children. And all right, so I'll go to the next point, but before I do that, about children, I wanted to talk about the method of childbirth as well. I did a video about vaginal birth and also having like cesarean section. These are some of the important discussions you need to have. You need to, even if you don't have, make sure that your decision is not just based on myths and probably some mindset that is not based on the right knowledge. Like I said, both of you should seek the right knowledge and know what is informing your perception, what is making you think the way you think, and get the right information before you arrive at a conclusion. Okay, so I will talk to the next point I'm going to talk about is the last thing. But before I go, please, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. Share with a friend, talk about it with somebody. Just give all the love and support. Comment before you go, like, and just keep watching. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is leisure. Like leisure, one of the very first thing you want to talk about is probably planning your wedding, and then also your honeymoon. Like after the wedding, right after the event, what's going to happen? Okay, so that it's not like after the wedding the bride is thinking of, oh, we are going to a hotel to chill, while the husband is thinking, no, we have to go to my family house to spend the night. You have to talk about all of that, which is part of the family tradition that I've talked about in the first place anyways. So you have to talk about, what are we doing from the wedding event? Where are we going? Okay, and what is the resources we have towards this thing? Okay, if we don't have so much, where can we go? Probably the family house is crowded, or maybe your husband's, your new home now is crowded with visitors. Where do we go? Okay, these are the things you talk about, so that there are no surprises. You are not having unnecessary arguments within the first few hours or few days of getting married. All right, if you are going for honeymoon, what is the destination? Where would I like to go? Where would you like to go? Talk about these things and arrive at the same level and decide. Okay, and by all means, what do we do for sport? How do we keep fit? What is your current weight? and how do I maintain shape, and you know, probably after childbirth I gain a few pounds. What's your view about it? These are the things that you need to talk about, to see this other person's view about it, and also to and in case probably you're talking from a place of they don't even know, probably they're saying, I don't want my woman, you know, getting unnecessary weight, or getting, you know, adding a bit of weight. You know, you need to let them know about the hormones that are involved. How can we keep fit, and you know, what are the tendencies, just everything around that. And what can we also do, like maybe part-time, maybe every weekend? Where do we go swimming? Do we go, you know, playing golf? What are the things that we can use to like unleash the stress out? Because as much as the stress is coming in, you need a way to unleash it out. So these are the things that you talk about. And by all means, you know, when it comes to spirituality, I think that's probably like the last one I want to talk about. What is the church? Which church are we going to be worshiping? Where is our place of worship? Who is going to be our pastor? Who is going to be our marriage counselor? You know, what are we going to be doing in the church? What do you do in church? Where do you serve? You know, these are the things that you weigh together to be able to, you know, come to a point to say, okay, I think that this is what I will do. I think that this is what I will do better. I think this is what we should do. I think this is the church we're going to attend. I think, you know, just making decisions together so that there are no surprises and there are no unnecessary arguments. And this is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I made sense. If you have not subscribed, please do before you go. And if you have any other point you think I should have added that I forgot, or maybe a point that you think is very important I've not mentioned, please put it in the comment section, and I will see you in the next one.